Welcome to 10-Minute Wellness Tips. This is Brad Costanzo, and today we're joined by Drew Canole. Best-selling author Drew Canole is a nutrition and transformation specialist, and he's leading the global movement for the benefits of juicing vegetables for health and vitality. He's also the founder of FitLife.tv. So, Drew, thanks for joining us today on 10-Minute Wellness Tips.
Thanks for having me, Brad. I'm excited to be here. I love what you're doing. I was looking all over the website. You got some really good content on there.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to adding a little bit more with our interview today. So that being said, let's get started. What is the number one thing that you recommend people can do right now to maximize their health and wellness?
Yeah, it's I was listening to Johnny Bowden's, good friend of mine, and essentially he was talking about the relationships you have with other people. So I want to kind of dig into that a little bit more and talk about the relationship that we have with ourselves. And I'm going to give you a very specific tool that anyone can use, no matter where they are, to really establish and get more clarity in the relationship that they have with themselves. And you've done it, Brad, so you understand completely where I'm going with this.
I do.
I'm talking about the 5-day Alpha Reset. And this is a 5-day cleanse, and it's going to be tough. If you're just getting into juicing or making smoothies, and that's the only substance that you're going to be consuming for 3 to 5 days, it can be a very arduous process. And it's no joke, one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And you did it, right?
Yes, I did. So let's go into a little bit more about this reset. Yeah. It's a juice cleanse. You're very well known for expounding on the benefits of vegetable juice, both as a supplement into your diet as well as an overall lifestyle and a cleanse. But explain a little bit more about that. What's so powerful about a juice cleanse?
Here's the deal. Like, all of us have this human instinct to do things over and over and over again until we become complacent with where we are, right? And it's the same goes with our health. It's these neural pathways from the dopamine, the endorphins, the oxytocin, and the serotonin, these chemicals that are in our brain. And once we understand how they work for us, and they work against us, we can start forming these new neurological pathways of the brain with these hormones. So what we do in the Alpha Reset is we bring attention to how food is controlling us, right? So many times, you're on vacation with your family and all of a sudden you had breakfast, and then you're wondering what you're going to have for lunch. You're already planning what you're going to have for lunch at breakfast. So food controls a lot of us, and we get in these complacent states where we're stuck and we're doing the same thing every day, and we're wondering why our body's not transforming or why our mind's not changing or our life is staying the same. So what we do is we break the state. Tony Robbins talks about that. And by breaking the state with doing this cleanse, you start to realize what's controlling you. And you also bring attention to what's consuming you. And, obviously we consume food as human beings, but a lot of the times the thoughts that we have in our own brain consume us, and it spikes up our cortisol levels, which is that stress hormone. So by consuming different types of food, we can basically lower that stress hormone, and we can allow our bodies, which are these amazing healing machines. We produce 55,000 cells every single second in the human body. You may not know how your thyroid works or how your heart pumps blood, but it does all these things without you even doing anything or knowing how it works. So what we do is we start pumping our bodies with these micronutrients, these enzymes, the amino acids from the fresh juice and the smoothies, and it immediately starts to change the game for you in your life. You start to feel more energy, you start to have more mental clarity, more focus, and you become vastly more creative. I've written a lot on doing the 5-day Alpha Reset, and my mind just accelerates. It's like my brain was sleeping and then it was turned on. So if you're a busy entrepreneur, or you're trying to get the most or optimize your life, you can really utilize these Alpha Resets or these 5-day cleanses to become more productive. And that's a really, really cool thing with doing this. Obviously, with the Alpha Reset, I like to add a little bit of fat as well. So MCT oil or coconut oil, something like that, to help move the toxins out of our body. And we could talk about that for days. There's 42,000 toxins in the environment every single year that are new or more. And our bodies just haven't evolved fast enough to deal with these toxins. So what we do is we utilize the power of Mother Nature, these superfoods, these vegetables, these fruits, and we mix them up in such a way to where we start to strip those toxins out of our body. Most of the time, toxins are stored in our belly fat. So if you're a woman and you're wondering why you have that bulge around your stomach or on your sides of your hips, It could be a little hormonal because of the toxins, the xenoestrogens that are in there. So once we start to flush those out, we start to mobilize the fat. You start to feel better. You start to rewire the dopamine, the endorphins, the oxytocin, the serotonin of the brain, and you start to reestablish who you are. You literally become someone new. You are no longer the person that you once were. You feel good. You get that dopamine hit, and all of a sudden you're addicted to doing something good versus something that's bad, like eat the chocolate or have the potato chips or the popcorn every single night before you go to bed. We talked about in the book, Train Your Taste to Trim Your Waist, how to literally train those little taste buds because they can be traitors, and they can force you to eat things that shouldn't be a part of your experience. And we do that because we're stressed out, because we have no willpower. We've been beaten down in our cubicles at work, or your kids, you're dealing with a lot of stress in your relationship, whatever it is. And we start to lose the self-love. And that's what I said in the beginning of this. I'm going to show you how to have a better relationship with yourself. So by doing the 5-day cleanse and by being more conscious of what you're putting in your body, you become vastly more focused on better choices. You start to see food as energy. And because of that, you literally start to become a new person. You start to make different choices and better choices. And then once you get out of your own mind and develop that relationship with yourself enough, you can literally have a much more amazing, joyful, full experience of a life where you're just literally walking around in this awe moment of this place that we called life. And it's an awesome experience. We've actually had about 786,000 people download the Alpha Reset. And many of them have had extraordinary results because it works. It's something that's real.
That's amazing. Can you share with us one other result that you've seen people have, not yourself, as a result of doing this?
Absolutely. Jacqueline Beach, she's actually head of our customer service department. She was one of our first transformation stories. And now, to date, she's lost over 115 pounds. Woman, thyroid condition, high blood pressure, on 12 to 13 medications. And as soon as she started to check in and have more self-love and do these things and drink these juices and change her lifestyle, she was able to lose that weight, get off the medication, and start to really feel better. Just wake up in the morning with energy, with a newfound sense of purpose. So many people wake up and they're dreading what they do every single day.
Yeah.
And this is we call it the Alpha Reset for a reason. It's not just resetting your body, because that's the easy part. You know how to do that. Everybody knows how to reset your body. Eat the right things, go to the gym, drink lots of water, sleep. All of these things we know how to do as human beings. But why aren't people doing them? Well, it's because of these neurochemicals in the brain that we've so hardwired, and we haven't allowed ourselves to create these new neural pathways. This changes the state. It resets your body. You start changing your neural pathways in the reward center of the brain. You start feeling better. And because you feel so good, most people lose 5 to 10 pounds by doing the Alpha Reset. That's an immediate reward.
Yeah, and you get a little bit a little bit of that reward, and it propels you on to the next one, and it continues to motivate you. Drew, I love how you you approach this not just from the body, but the mind and the entire spirit aspect. You've done a tremendous job of building a really loyal community of followers, and obviously you can't get that without getting folks results. I know you've also got a brand new product that you developed to help people who have don't have the time to juice the fresh fruits and vegetables all the time. It's your Organifi powdered green drink mix. Is this correct?
Absolutely. Most people don't have the time to juice. They hate cleaning up. And when they're traveling, they can't really find a juice bar. And most of the time, it's not organic produce, right?
Right, exactly.
So essentially what we've done is we've taken our 11 favorite ingredients and we've combined that with one of my favorite adaptogenic things on the planet known as ashwagandha, right? Ashwagandha lowers that cortisol that we were talking about up to 29% in clinical trials and the stuff that we've seen. And then also in men, it boosts testosterone, but in women, it increases libido and does a lot of really, really cool stuff in the human body.
That's fantastic. Well, we'll definitely put a link to get Organifi right here on the show. And if people want to find out a little bit more about you and watch the videos that you're doing, what's the best website that they can go to find out more?
fitlife.tv. That's our home website.
Fantastic. Well, I encourage everybody to check it out. And Drew, thanks for joining me today on 10-Minute Wellness Tips.